Hey everyone, welcome to Josh and Dewy's podcast, our second installment. Today we're gonna talk about our top 3 actors. My name is Josh.
And my name is Dewey.
Alright, so just go straight in.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think for me, my number 3 favorite actor would be Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, for me, I think I just really liked how he's really devoted into the role that he plays. He just becomes like as an actor, he becomes the person. And I don't know if y'all watched The Machinist. It's kind of like a low key movie.
That's the movie where he lost like
he was like
a crazy amount.
Yeah, he was I think like
weight.
80 pounds for that movie. But if y'all haven't watched it, y'all need to go watch it. It's like a psychological thriller movie. But even just watching that and then watching how he went to.
And if you don't want to watch it, I suggest you Google image.
Oh yeah.
Christian Bale, the
There's
Machinist.
Like crazy images out.
It looks really scary.
But yeah, no. The reason why I like that, I think I just really like how he immerses himself in his role. And
I don't know, like, don't you think that can be kind of annoying? Because not saying this is like the perfect analogy, but remember in Tropic Thunder when Robert Downey Jr. his character was like totally
when
immersed.
He got blackenized.
Yeah, just totally into the role the entire time, like in the movie and outside the movie. So don't you think as like as a coworker and just a supporting, like lighting director and all those people, wouldn't you get kind of annoyed by that? He's just constantly in that role. Like,
I think that's a good point. Yeah, because I remember I heard like Shia LaBeouf when he was
Shia LaBeouf.
I try to say French, but no, I remember when he was filming this one movie. It was like I forgot what movie it was. Like this cowboy movie with but he was trying to like it was for Fury, the tank movie with Brad Pitt. That like he tried to become the role that he was playing so much that he wouldn't take a shower and he'd go crazy, and the directors would be like you just need to take a little easy, you don't want to become the person. So I think it's a fine balance between but I think it's like at the same time it's Shia, like come on, we're not gonna take this guy too seriously, like even Stevens, like
true.
But if it's like a guy like Christian Bale who has like I think a good background and a very good history of like well-respected movies as he's made. I think if it's a guy like that, people will be like,
true.
Like he's so immersed in his role, like he's such a grade A actor. And then if like a guy like Shia does it, it's like, dude, what is this guy trying to do? Like, are you trying to be like like a serious actor?
Shia is a very well-respected actor. You not see the first Transformer movies?
Hey, I mean, like I'm not macking on him, but I think it's really depends on the perspective, to be honest. But yeah, Christian Bale, just going back into it, like obviously he has Batman, known for his Dark Knight role, as well as The Prestige.
Great movie.
You watched it, you loved it. The Magician movie, I highly suggest you guys go watch it if you haven't. And this movie doesn't get talked about enough, but did you ever watch 3:10 to Yuma?
I have no idea what that is.
It's like I'm really into Western movies, but y'all need to watch this movie too, because it's just a story about how it's Russell Crowe's in it. He's like this really famous outlaw, and what's his face? Christian Bale is in the movie as kind of like this farmer who gets kind of caught up into it, and they had to take the train to take him to prison. But it's just a really cool story how like I think being like I guess involved in this not ironically but unintentionally being involved in this taking him to prison and stuff. But I highly suggest you guys go watch it.
See, that's the thing about Christian Bale. He's always taking these like. Is it like a dark movie? Not dark, but maybe like an action.
Yeah. It's like very like he doesn't have he's like the World War I veteran. He doesn't have a foot, and it's like pretty crazy. But
he never smiles in his movies.
Yeah, that's true.
He just looks so angry.
I can't remember the last. The
one movie he smiled in was American Psycho,
and he was crazy.
Yeah, and he was freaking ridiculous.
That's true. Yeah, even in American Hustle too. He was like super fat. Apparently he got a herniated disc because of that movie because
he gained all that weight.
And like he was trying to crouch and like trying to get that kind of like. So like I think. Yeah, he does. I think you brought a good point when he said like he does kind of go too into the role to the point where it's kind of like he becomes the person, he immerses himself in it too much. But I think he hasn't done anything too.
He does have a lot of great movies in the end. I agree.
And like I don't think I've really watched a movie where I didn't like him. So.
Okay.
But yeah, what about you? What's your third favorite actor?
Well, mine's definitely in the opposite genre, but I'm gonna have to go with Will Ferrell. I think he's hilarious. I think he's very underrated in terms of because people don't really know when comedians, I guess, improv in their movies.
Yeah.
And so you see so many outtakes of Will Ferrell just doing different things, and I don't know. I just think he's just naturally a funny guy. Even like in his interviews with like Conan, Jimmy Fallon, he's just a constant just funny. I don't know. He's just awesome to me. Elf, Anchorman. What else is he in? There's also.
I really liked him.
Out some movies.
Huh?
I'm already blanking out some movies. I guess Get Hard. Step Brothers.
That was a great movie. Anchorman, obviously.
Quick cameo, Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah. No, I think and he came out in The Office too, our favorite show.
Oh, D'Angelo.
D'Angelo, the crazy, eccentric manager who was there for like 2 days, like trying to do the fake dunk.
And he's just like the typical like white man body with like curly blonde hair. He just looks goofy.
Yeah.
No, definitely Will Ferrell's in my top 3, even though it's kind of incomparable to Christian Bale, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, even with your point of improvising, I think for Anchorman, the first one, he improvised like 50% of the lines.
No,
so
seriously.
That's just insane because if you think about like being placed in that situation where you have to like bam, quickly think of like these funny jokes that are like, like pop culture references at the same time, like I have a hard time thinking, so I have mad respect for him. So.
And have you seen that Jimmy Fallon sketch where he's lip syncing?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen that yet?
No.
It's like to Beyonce. I don't know. Y'all should definitely watch it if you haven't. It's really funny.
Yeah, and he's also well known for that SNL sketch with the More Cowbells one.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So he's just a well-rounded, funny guy. I liked him.
Definitely. All right, so I guess we'll move on to number 2 on our top 3 list.
Yeah.
So who's your number 2?
For me, Tom Cruise, definitely one of my top. Obviously, my number 2. I think the reason why I like him too is just. Actually, now I'm starting to see like a little trend that I tend to like actors that are like really like into their roles and become like the person that they're playing. I know Tom Cruise gets a lot of flack because he's like into like Scientology. He's like super weird.
But didn't he recently like quit Scientology?
Yeah, apparently because like apparently
church.
if you're into Scientology, it's considered a non-profit organization, so you get a tax break. So like there was like conspiracy saying that the reason why a lot of high-profile actors and like famous people are into the Scientology religion is apparently for the tax breaks, which makes a lot of sense.
Oh, wait, Scientology not recognized by the state as a church?
No, it is recognized as like.
But they're a non-profit organization.
Yeah, like a non-profit religion organization, I think.
Oh.
So like church,
Like most government, like the way like a religious organization is like the rules to like establish that in our government is like there's like almost nothing. It's like very easy to set up a religious organization. It could be like about we're gonna set up a religion about eating cheese every week, and that's a religion.
Actually, but I remember
that was John Kim, by the way, our sound technician.
I remember but I did learn in my tax class. I am an accounting major for those who don't know, but I remember learning in our tax class that anybody can establish it. But I think there's like a legitimacy of it. Like if you're the only one worshiping the sun, and you say like I want a tax break because I'm the head person, you're like the only person in the organization that the court doesn't recognize. But if it's like obviously Scientology with like millions of followers, then they give it like a legit status. So
like I've heard it is actually very easy. Like all you really, even though they have rules, the rules are like really easy to follow. They'll be like you just need a place to meet.
Right, like a legit place, and
a
congregation.
At least one person.
Yeah.
More than one person.
Not just
so
yours.
It's just like basically this can be a religion, right here. Like legally at least, you know, and they give a lot of tax breaks to those religious foundations.
But this is just all conspiracy why he joined Scientology.
Yeah, there's not like a solid like
okay.
Like people are like this is the reason why, but like, a lot of people speculate that's the reason, and that would make sense though, because like if you're an actor, you're making millions of dollars and you got charged like 30% tax. That's a lot of money. So
definitely.
But I remember the reason. Yeah, he tried to get out because his daughter, like he wanted his daughter to get out of that kind of thing, but they wouldn't let him. There's like a whole controversy right now. But anyway, just going back
to why you like Tom Cruise.
No, but like I know he gets a lot of flack for that, but I think he really does a good job of his act. Like when he's like I loved a lot of his movies. Like I don't know if you remember like Outsiders. Do you guys remember that? We had to watch that.
I remember.
We had to read it and then
that
watch
was actually
it in
a really stacked lineup of actors in that movie.
Yeah, I remember I watching that movie back in middle school. I still remember it. Like, and it just like something like Minority Report, a classic.
I still haven't seen that. I know it's a classic. There's a lot of movies I still need to watch.
And obviously the famous Mission Impossible series and Tropic Thunder, one of my favorite. I would say top 3 comedy movies.
Wow.
That he's in. And just like Edge of Tomorrow, my favorite movie of all time.
So is that officially your favorite movie of all time?
I think so. I think the reason why I like it is just...
But is it because of Tom Cruise or Emily Blunt?
I think even both.
Though they both carry the movie.
Yeah, and the fact that the script was so good, the character development was good, it was funny, there's action scenes, like the best of all worlds. So And I haven't met a single person that watched the movie and didn't like it, so I think that speaks for itself. So.
What if we replace those actor and actresses with like
nobody,
or like maybe like Shia LaBeouf and like Emma Stone? Would you still think that movie's amazing?
I keep on saying like that. Maybe, I don't know. Hey, it didn't happen. All that matters is Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt was on it, and I loved it. That's all I care about.
And our favorite scene?
It was good.
It was
I think
good.
the concept, was very interesting.
Apparently, it was based off like an anime manga
it's based
book
off this,
too.
like,
So.
manga.
And a lot darker apparently, but.
Yeah.
I mean, because like the acting by Tom Cruise wasn't like superb or anything. I feel like it was more of the actual movie itself.
Yeah, like I think, for my opinion, I don't think the actors like made it.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely like the concept, the cinematography, the screenplay, and then the pace, the writing, and the plot was what made it, But
True.
I think it's very hard because sometimes with really good writing, you get really good actors, right? But sometimes, I think if you have a really good actor can turn a bad movie really good.
Right. Right.
Um,
But I think, and I guess part of the reason why I really like Tom Cruise is like he's like what 5'5",
Yeah, he's like my height.
and he's a stud.
And don't you love the way he runs too?
Yeah, Mission Impossible. He just runs so like I don't know, but anyway, going back, just like I really like him. He's just short, he's short. He defied all odds, and he's like a A-list actor.
And when he was dating, what's her face, Kate?
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes. Dude, she was like 4 inches taller than him.
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
mad props.
Oh yeah,
that is like my dream.
And that is your dream to date.
That is my
tall
dream to
girls.
date.
I mean, I can never date tall girls out of my pride, but I mad respect, dude.
No,
so I mad respect all around for Tom Cruise.
I like your number 2 pick.
But what about you, dude? What's your number 2 favorite actor?
Number 2, I'm gonna have to go with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I mean, I am a wrestling fan, but I think he's a very underrated actor. I mean, he started out with Scorpion King with WWE.
I remember that movie.
Film. Yeah, wasn't it like really entertaining?
It was actually not bad.
Yeah, and he just kicks ass. Am I allowed to say that word? Should we bleep that out?
That's
But he's just a badass pretty much like in every single movie. In Fast and Furious, was it 7? When he just has a cast in his arm and he just
flexes it
all. That's like my dream, just to rip my shirt because my muscles are just so huge. And Pain and Gain.
Great movie with Marky Mark.
Hilarious when he's like cooking the hand on the little barbecue.
And his little I Love Jesus shirts.
Yeah, he's in his like high pitched voice, like he's like trying to be considerate, but he's like crazy at the same time. I don't know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's like on the rise right now. He's in every single movie.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in that one new Disney princess movie too. So
I think I think he has a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
His personality is like it draws you. You want to like him.
Exactly.
And I think that's why he excelled in wrestling too. It's just like, people just want to root for him.
I think the cool thing about him is though, it's like he always plays like the same character in almost every movie. But the thing is though, like the reason why it doesn't get tiring is because like it's like that's his thing. It's like his niche. 'Cause, like if you think about like Jason Statham, he always plays the same character, like the what's it called, the action fighter who is like going against all odds and he kicks everyone's butt.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you never get tired of it, even though he does the same thing in almost every movie, like Crank, Transporter.
It's like Jennifer Aniston. She's always like the damsel in distress
in
those like
exactly.
rom-coms.
But it just works because I think they just fit that role so well, how they look like and how their mannerisms. It's like Vin Diesel too,
And it's like, I think that's just that's their personality. So they're able to fit into those roles so naturally.
Right.
So
like a part of me, at least for The Rock, it's like he just ripped. And like, every time you see him, you're just like, dude, I totally want him to like whoop people
and save me.
If he was doing and sitting around, he wasn't doing much. I don't think I would have liked him as much. Even in that, was it the Fast and Furious, the last one?
Mm-hmm.
Like he was in the what is it? He came out like very briefly.
I think
each moment was like just packed with testosterone.
Yeah. When he had that fight scene with Jason Statham.
I think he only had a total of like 5 minutes in that entire movie.
But I still remember him most out of all the whole entire movie. Honestly, the beginning and the ending scene.
When he gave the rock bottom.
Yeah, the rock bottom against Jason Statham. Wait, what's Jason Statham, right? When he
that
was awesome.
He basically he threw him out the building, broke his arm, and then the next scene was him breaking his cast and whooping more people's butt.
And then he got a machine gun shooting at a helicopter. Just like, this guy is unstoppable.
But I think it's cool because he embraces his role and he just has fun with it. I think it's like it just bothers me when people get too critical of a movie and they start talking about it's not realistic enough and like they're just like this doesn't make sense. Well, like, it's a movie. It's not supposed to make sense.
Yeah, exactly. We're just here to be entertained, and that's what The Rock does. He's been doing it ever since like in high school when he was doing football, high school football, then to the WWE and wrestling, and now as an actor. So
he's just a born entertainer. He's just meant to.
I really do like his upcoming, so
yeah, I can't wait.
Upbringing, I guess.
Hopefully, he's in the next Fast and Furious movie because I know they are trying to work out another one. So. So yeah, let's go on to our final top pick, who we think is number one on our personal list, a top 3 list.
Yeah, I'll start us off. For me, it's Jake Gyllenhaal, one of my favorite actors of all time.
I like this pick.
I think he just has a good combination of like, just seeing how he started in like October Sky. We've all watched it, right? And back in our middle school days in our science class talking about the Rocket Boys. And seeing him like this little teenager and Donnie Darko also. Into like this like premier, jacked, awesome. I don't know even how to describe it. Like this, he just exudes, like just like charm and swagger. And I think like he's, it helps that he's really good looking. I admit that I do have a man crush on him. And
we know he's willing to kiss guys because he was in Brokeback Mountain. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gay for him, but I would
Josh
totally...
likes girls. He doesn't like men. Josh likes girls.
Yeah,
my bad.
Let's get that out there. I'm a 100% heterosexual, but... No, I think, like, I would just like to hang out with him. Like, not like a...
No, I agree.
It's like a platonic relationship, just being able to chill with him like I chill with Dewey. But, no, the reason I really like him is just... I don't think I've ever watched a movie that I didn't like with him on it, and I kind of said that for Christian Bale and Tom Cruise, but just even recently, like watching, did you ever watch Prince of Persia?
I did, but I don't remember anything about it.
For some reason, and it got bad reviews, and I try not to look at the critic ratings too much when I watch a movie, but I remember watching it and really, really enjoying it. Like the storyline and kind of like his, I don't know, like I think I noticed I like a lot of movies regarding time bending in a way, right? Time traveling. And I remember like he's able to go back in time with the sands of time and all that based on the game. But I remember watching the movie and I was like, I really liked it. And I remember just like really enjoying the relationship between him and like the princess that he had to save, and like it was just really cool. And
you know who Jake Gyllenhaal's career reminds me of?
Who?
Kind of like Tim Duncan's. Like, like Tim Duncan's been amazing from rookie year till now. Of young age and middle age and old age. Right. Jake Gyllenhaal's been coming out with great movies since he was young in October Sky, Donnie Darko, and even till this day, Southpaw, Nightcrawler, always coming out with great movies. And it seems like he's the type of guy when he's 50, he'll still be coming out with amazing
like kind of like George Clooney, like he's like timeless.
Exactly.
He'll be like, even when he's 50, he's probably gonna have all his hair. And like he'll probably be grayed out, but girls will still be swooning over him.
He is the franchise player that you're gonna constantly give a max contract.
The cornerstone of an organization, pretty much. No, I totally agree. Like I remember watching like Source Code. Like that. Did you watch that? Right?
I did.
Yeah, like it wasn't like a big hit movie, but the plot was just amazing. And End of Watch with Michael Pena, our favorite Latino actor. And
that hurt deep, bro.
That hurt deep, bro. And Prisoners and Nightcrawler and Southpaw. Yeah, I just remember watching all these movies, and like if you haven't watched Southpaw, I highly recommend it. Like it was like very cliche, and like it wasn't like the most, it wasn't like a groundbreaking boxing movie, but the way he portrayed himself in that movie and how he like really took the responsibility of that role, he just immersed himself in it.
So, since he's your favorite actor, what would you say is your favorite movie that he's in? If you had to pick one, I know you listed all those movies and you like them all, but
honestly, it would have to be Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, man.
Because I remember watching. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I remember watching Nightcrawler. Like he kind of had like the Christian Bale machinist role where he like lost a lot of weight, and he becomes this really creepy, nerdy, like he's just really weird in the movie. And like it's gotten to the point where I remember watching the movie and I was like, this is too natural, to the point where I was like, is this like him in real life? Because he was just like, the little subtle mannerisms that he did was so on point, where like if you like, I'm sure you guys we all have like know these guys, they're just kind of weird, like they're naturally they just come off a little weird and eccentric. And watching the movie, I don't know. He just displayed that role so well. It like got to a point where I was like, he must be like this in real life. There's no way that he like became this person without being that person in the first place. But I think that's what a lot of great actors do. So
No, definitely.
I would have to say Nightcrawler.
Wow.
Just a thriller, thrilling, intense movie. Just throughout the whole entire. There's this little vibe that I don't know. It's just weird.
Is it like thriller as in like
kind of like Shutter Island? I guess.
That's what I was thinking. Like
yeah,
Shutter
like,
Island.
The
thriller?
whole movie, you're like something crazy is about to happen. Like you're on the edge of your seat the whole entire time, and it's just like captivating, and gripping.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like Shutter Island. So yeah, we had it, but yeah. What
I mean, speaking of Shutter Island, I was originally gonna say Mark Wahlberg, but I was actually I think Leonardo DiCaprio might be my number one. He is the greatest actor to never win an Oscar to this day.
And it's a travesty.
He's been in all the biggest hit movies: The Departed,
Titanic.
Like everyone remembers, that was the number one box office movie of the world for the longest time until I believe was it Harry Potter or
I don't remember.
No, it was Avatar that overtook it, which wasn't even that great of a movie. But he also was in Wolf of Wall Street, and he had
Gatsby.
Great Gatsby, a very short but awesome cameo in Django Unchained.
Oh yeah, he only had like 20 minutes screen time.
Yeah,
but he was still awesome.
He was like the best, and apparently when he crushed that skull in the end, when he found out that Django and them were like cheating him, and he crushed that skull. That was like real blood. He actually like cut himself from when he broke that skull, and he still kept going. He never broke character. That's how awesome he is. He just keeps going with it. And so Leonardo
Inception.
Inception.
I remember I watched that Inception like couple months ago, and I remember how amazing it was, and how Leonardo DiCaprio really
he really captivates the audience.
War, so.
Like I don't know, just the way he's like talking to you, he's like whispering,
swagger.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he goes all crazy, just like it's so bipolar, and like I don't know if he's come out in any like comedy movies, but
not really. I mean, yeah.
He kind of does play that typical role too, just like psychotic and just like with a fake accent, like a Boston accent or a Southern accent. It's not like he doesn't do he doesn't have like the greatest accents, but I mean,
it's like if you watch like a movie, like even like Django Unchained, like he would have this like accent for like
it was like a Southern and then like the next accent.
Scene, like he wouldn't have it. It's just like, oh wait, I gotta turn the accent on, and all of a sudden he has it back on.
But I was like, it's Leo, it's okay, he can get away with it.
Honestly, I didn't even notice until someone mentioned it. And I think the cool thing is that like he acts so well that you look over his little little mistakes that he would have, like his little fallacies. So I think it's
and just like Jake Gyllenhaal, he was also a prodigy child because he was acting since he was like 8 years old. He was best friends with Tobey Maguire, so
and they started together in Great Gatsby too.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember I saw a Reddit post, but I remember like he doesn't do drugs, alcohol, or smoke or anything like that.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
like think I'm not exactly sure on it, but I remember reading something that really blew my mind, that really made me respect Leonardo DiCaprio even more, is that like you see a lot of like child stars that are deprived of their childhood that a lot of people need, and they go crazy when they're older. Like Miley Cyrus is a great example.
Selena Gomez,
Demi
Lovato, anyone in Disney pretty much.
Yeah, no, pretty much. And like I remember
the root of all evil.
But like I think. And he's been acting since he was little, yet like you never hear like these scandals that a lot of actors go through, like of cheating or like he's not really married or anything, but you never hear stories about him like getting arrested for like I don't know.
That's pretty shocking with the drugs and alcohol story, because in
Wolf
of Wall Street, that's all he did the entire movie.
It's a movie, but like he's straight edge apparently, and that just edge. Yeah, the reason why I found that amazing was that he was still able to not lose sight of who he is as a person. Like even going back to Tropic Thunder, how they made fun of actors who get into a role too much to the point it's like they forget who they are, and this is who they become. Yeah. But like the reason why I like Leo is that he's a great actor, and he's been a child actor. Yeah, he never lost his like sense of identity in a way, and he's still a great person. So
I also like Leonardo. I think he's very underrated for what he does, and I think he picks good movies.
I think that's the most important thing that you just said.
He picks good movies, and he knows like how to play very hard characters, like concept wise, because especially like Inception, like how do you play this character in this like abstract thinking, right?
Of
And
like
you have
going
to,
into
yeah,
dreams
'cause
and
especially if you're trying to grab a character, like it's really hard to imagine yourself in
their
that
shoes
kind
in
of,
a
yeah,
way.
you know, and because you have to understand like what they're going through and what they're thinking of, and what's the development, like what kind of character is he, you know, and
I would love to sit down with Leonardo DiCaprio and just to see him like get into the zone of like building into that character and like I don't know, yeah, just really immersing himself in the role. That'd be really cool to see.
yeah, like all of his roles, you know,
Yeah.
they're all like very either historic or very like
Not groundbreaking in a way, I guess.
but they're just hard characters to play. He doesn't pick the easy ones.
Oh yeah,
He always picks like really hard characters to play.
Take a lot of
That's
work
why-
and
he's,
effort.
he's just chasing that championship, dude. He wants that Oscar.
And I respect him for that. I
Academy
respect him for like being to like always looking for a challenge as an actor to grow as like to become a better person.
And it's weird. It's like I really don't get why he hasn't won an Oscar yet, considering he's in great movies, great roles, and he's worked with amazing directors. Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, like just off the top of my head.
I feel like at this point, the people who like select it, is like at this point they're just like trolling him. Like it's like a running gag. Like you know what? Let's not give it to him this year either.
The Academy is out for Leonardo.
Like
What did he do?
Honestly, like, but no. Even going back to what you said about like finding good scripts, I think it's so easy for us to like. Obviously, after a movie has been made and everything produced, and we watch the end result of it, and we're just like, that was a good script. Like, or like if we watch a bad movie, we're just like, this is a terrible script. How could this actor who is so highly touted go into this without like, do they not know what a good script is? But I think it's so easy for us to say that. But when you're just reading before the movie is about to start, because you know we watch Entourage and we kind of seen how the process works of an actor getting into a movie and like reading the script and whether they like it or not. I feel like when you're just reading all these pages of script, like, how are you supposed to know if it's going to be a good movie or not, you know?
Exactly.
And, like, it's so easy for us to be like, wow, would he pick that role with a terrible script? Like, maybe back then when they read it, it sounded great. And then during the production, maybe the production company's like, actually, let's just change it around like this. And, you know, there's a lot of backstory that goes behind it. And the reason why I respect Leonardo DiCaprio even more is that he picks good script even before he's, you know, obviously sees the end result. Because hindsight is always 20/20. Yeah. So that's crazy, the fact that he does pick a script, even though it's like the basic skeleton of it.
Man, I'm trying to think of one movie I don't like him in, but it's really hard for me to think of
I really
one.
can't think of one. I remember watching Great Gatsby. We watched it at the Dolly Theater with a bunch of other guys. And I remember like the first half, I was like, all right, I think I finally found a movie that Leonardo, like, I don't like.
Because he wasn't even in it, like, in the beginning.
Yeah,
But I didn't even like the book.
But I remember like
but the symbolism, though.
But I remember like second half of the movie, it became amazing. I remember walking out being like, this is one of my favorite movies this year.
Wow.
And even though it didn't get a lot like good ratings, I remember thinking like, this might be the one movie that I might not like Leonardo DiCaprio in. But then second half it just picked up and it was amazing. So I just thought like, I really can't think of a bad movie, and that would be a bad movie for me that he
Great
be in,
Gatsby?
but it's still good.
Yeah. Well, I guess like talking about actors and stuff, what do you guys think makes a good actor? Like what is the, because I think everyone looks something different, obviously, right?
Yeah, like Dewey and his like wrestling turned into actors movies.
You know, like why was your, you know, because your top three like that?
I think for me personally, it's like I need to know, just basing off the movie, that they're totally invested into the role, and like it looks like they're enjoying it in a sense, because
like they're not doing it for the money.
Exactly, because you know, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like he looks like he's having fun doing it. Like when you watch the movie Hercules, like he just looks like he's having fun and just enjoying the moment. And as well as Will Ferrell, you know, he always does these crappy comedy movies that always gets terrible reviews, but you know, he's taking these roles because he thinks they're fun, and he has a great time in doing it with his friends like Kevin Hart, including Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, I think he really likes these movies because he wants to be these characters, and it's a good challenge for him. And that's what I almost kind of see in all three of these actors. That's the commonality that I like.
For me, I just see these actors like Jake Gyllenhaal, Tom Cruise, and Christian Bale. There's like a common theme is that they really immerse themselves in the role, and I just really like it when they, I guess, become another person.
They become the actor.
Yeah, no, they become the role that they're playing, and they're able to like have these different personalities almost to the point where it's like, I mean, like perfect example going back to Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler. it got to a point when I was watching the movie, like, this is too natural. Like, he has to be like this in real life. But I'm sure he's not. Like, he's not like this psychological murderer. Like, but yeah, I think that's kind of like the main theme that I saw that I saw. And I'm like, oh, this is why I like an actor. And the reason why I would say Leonardo is top 5 in my book too, because he immerses himself in his role.
Yeah, no, definitely. Awesome. Well, I think we agree with both of our lists, right?
What list?
Our top 3
threes?
actor list that we can see why they would be in the top 3. I guess none of us really are like, no.
They're all phenomenal, you know, and it's really hard to compare, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully next time Josh and I and John as well, we can do a top 3 actresses.
Next time, yeah, for sure.
I don't know when that next time would be since we're primarily a sports podcast, but
yeah, we just wanted to give the people what they want by doing an emergency pod. But hope you all enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, so just hit us off with the ending credits music.